Most leads don't ghost you because they're not interested, they ghost you because your follow-up system just isn't doing its job. And before you say, well, we follow up with every lead, I want you to really think about this. Are you actually following up or are you just checking in? In this video, I'm going to show you why most follow-up systems fail, even the automated ones, and what to do instead if you actually want to start more conversations, get more replies so that you can get more booked calls. Most businesses think they've got follow-up handled. They've got automations, they're calling new leads, maybe they've got an email sequence. But here's the truth, just because you're following up doesn't mean your follow-up system is effective. Most follow-ups are either too slow, too spaced out, or very easy to ignore. And when you combine that with calls people don't answer or emails they don't open, you're relying on luck, not a process. At the end of the day, if you're not starting real conversations with your leads, it's just not going to work. A lot of people hesitate to follow up too often because they think it'll come across as pushy. But here's the truth. The leads inquired. They asked for your help. They gave you permission to follow up. So if they haven't responded yet, it's not because you're annoying, it's because their life got in the way. We send follow-ups every 2 to 3 hours at the start of a conversation, and that might sound aggressive, but it works. Because we're contacting them while they're still in the buying mindset. If they didn't want to hear from you, they'd tell you. But if you stop too soon, you're leaving them halfway through a decision. Even if you have automations or a sales team calling leads, most systems still miss the mark. Here's why. Calls don't get answered, emails get ignored, and your automated SMS sequences just feel robotic. These systems create activity, not results. What actually converts is conversation. If you've seen my other videos, you know we emphasize hyper-personalizing messages via SMS. Short, human messages that feel real, not automated. Because when a lead responds, that's where conversion happens. That's where you can qualify them, build trust, and get them booked. So it's not about sending more messages, it's about sending the right ones at the right time until they respond. Okay, welcome back to the whiteboard. Let's go over the 3 rules that actually make follow-up work and why timing is everything. So starting off with follow-up 1, follow up fast and frequently. So if a lead doesn't respond to your first message, which should have been sent as soon as they inquired, don't wait a day. We send bumps every 2 to 3 hours until they reply. Why? Because most responses come from these bump messages, okay? A quick nudge like, we're just opening a couple more slots this month, so I thought I'd check in. It can be very effective. It not only builds urgency with that message, but it turns silence into a conversation that turns conversation into a booked call. After that, slow the rhythm down once per day, then every few days if needed, but early momentum, that's everything. Okay, rule 2, so keep the momentum going. Once a lead replies, don't lose them to back and forth delays. If they stop responding mid-conversation, within, bump them again within 2 to 3 hours if they stop responding here. That follow-up, that's what keeps the thread alive, and it keeps them moving forward towards a booking. If you've seen my other videos, you already know we use personalized text because they feel natural and they just get higher reply rates. But conversational follow-up means that you have to lead the conversation, not wait for them to restart it, okay? That's how you turn replies into real appointments. And then just channel 3, rule 3, channel matters. So you might already be using emails and calls to reach out to your leads, and that's great. Keep doing it. But SMS, it just gets in front of more people. It has a 98% open rate. Almost every message gets read within minutes. It's also less pushy than a phone call, and more personal than an email. So instead of chasing people who don't answer, you're starting friendly human conversations that actually lead to results. Okay, so we've tested this across hundreds of campaigns, and the same pattern, it repeats every single time. Most responses don't come from the first message. They actually come from the second, third, even fourth follow-up. So have a look at these examples right here. I'm going to go through a few examples. I'm going to cut between them because I've obviously got to find the conversations that actually have the examples, but you're going to see exactly where leads are responding and how the follow-ups actually led to more booked calls. So starting off with this contact right here, obviously I'm going to blur the names, but we sent the first message. They didn't respond. 2 hours later, we sent a bump message. They responded. We responded back. They didn't respond. 3 hours later, we sent a bump message. They responded. We replied. No response. 3 hours later, we sent a bump message. No response. 3 hours later, we sent another bump message. As you can see, 3 messages went through and then they responded. We responded, they responded, we responded, they responded, and we booked them in for a call. This conversation, and look at how conversational this is as well. It's a proper conversation. And life seemed to have gotten in the way for this guy. See, we weren't pushing him. He was just busy. But We persisted. We stayed top of mind. That's the key at the end of the day. And we ended up booking him in for a call. Another one, no response to the first message. 2 hours later, sent a bump, and they responded. A good example right here. So we sent the first message, no response. We bumped him once, no response. We bumped him again with a bit of urgency, and they responded, which led to a conversation, which led to a booked call. Another one, so we sent the first message, no response, one bump message, then they responded. We responded back, no response. 3 hours later, sent a bump, no response. 3 hours later again, we sent another bump. They responded, we responded, they responded, we responded, they responded. We booked them in for a call. So with this one, we sent the message, they responded straight away. We responded back, they responded. They didn't respond for 3 messages. That's like 5 hours or 6 hours. And then they responded, then we responded. They didn't message back after a few messages again. As you can see, this went over a couple of days. And then they responded, and then we responded back, booking them in for a call. And with all those examples, you can see the absolute importance of following up, because if we hadn't followed up with these leads, all of these booked calls wouldn't have happened. It is absolutely crucial that we follow up and we follow up again and we keep following up, because people need to be followed up with. Otherwise, they're just going to go to your competitor because they were interested. So here's how to fix your follow-up system today. Step 1, don't rely on calls and emails alone. Add personalized text to your follow-up flow. Step 2, send your first follow-up within 2 to 3 hours of no response. Step 3, send at least 3 more bump messages within 2 to 3 hour intervals within office hours if they still don't reply. Step 4, once they respond, just keep the conversation active. Don't let the conversation go cold again. Step 5, if the lead stops responding, continue following up with the lead with the same 2 to 3 hour interval rule, because follow-up is not about chasing people. It's about staying relevant while they're still thinking about your service. You've already paid for that attention, so don't lose it by being too slow to follow up. So before you spend another dollar on ads, fix your follow-up system, because the truth is, like I always say, your next 10, 20, even 50 sales are probably already in your database. If you want to help building a follow-up process that actually converts, I can show you how to do it, or my team and I can build and automate the entire process for you so your sales team doesn't have to ever worry about follow-ups. The link's in the description. And if you found this video helpful, watch this next one somewhere on the screen. It's about how to convert leads faster. It'll show you how to quickly convert more leads into sales as soon as they inquire. Thanks for watching, and remember, the fortune is always in the follow-up.